Hi folks, and welcome to mid-November. It is Friday, November 12th, 2021, and this is Cord Cutting Weekly, the show where we wrap up the past week in cord cutting and streaming news. And this week we've got new options on YouTube TV, a price hike and more content from Frndly TV, still more earnings reports to discuss, and more. But first, of course, if you haven't done so already, please do take a second to at least consider clicking on those like and subscribe buttons down below. Those really do help us out a ton, and they're a great way to support our channel. And as always, for anyone out there that's just joining us for the first time, just a quick note, for all of the stories we're about to discuss on this show, you'll find links to those stories included down below in the video description. And those links will bring you on over to our news website, cordcuttersnews.com, where you can stay up to date on all things streaming 24/7. And now, with all of that laid out, let's dive straight into the news, starting with more content on YouTube TV. This week we learned that YouTube TV subscribers are getting a whole lot more Hallmark content. The live TV streaming platform and Crown Media family networks have reached an agreement that brings the Hallmark Channel, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, and Hallmark Drama to YouTube TV's lineup. The announcement comes right as Hallmark ratchets up its annual holiday content push, and it's fair to say that's not a coincidence. And in case you're wondering, no, YouTube TV has not announced any sort of price increase associated with the addition of these new Hallmark channels. In any case, you can check out more details in our post link down below in the video description. And we're also tracking yet another rumor in the ongoing NFL Sunday Ticket saga. This latest report suggests Disney is showing more interest in acquiring NFL Sunday Ticket for its own ESPN Plus service. The Sports Business Journal report suggests Disney is engaged in discussions and negotiations with the NFL regarding those rights. And it's certainly not the only big name rumored to be interested in acquiring the NFL's out-of-market service. We'll of course keep a close eye on this developing story, and stay tuned to cordcuttersnews.com for all the very latest. Next up, a quick follow-up on Netflix's new push into the world of video gaming. So last week we reported on the launch of Netflix games on Android devices here in the US, and at the time an iOS launch was touted for the coming weeks, which apparently meant next week, because Netflix Games is now available on iOS, and it includes the same initial collection of 5 games, each available individually through the App Store. And as with the Android launch, these games do not include ads or in-app purchases. And as we did with last week's launch, for any iOS users out there that try out this first batch of games, let us know what you think of the available titles so far. Do you think the new Netflix Games effort has potential? Feel free to sound off in the comment section down below. And speaking of Netflix, the streaming giant announced that it's starting to roll out a new video codec to select devices. The new tech is known as AV1, and among other things, it's designed to offer higher quality video with lower bandwidth requirements. And that could lead to, say, fewer drops in video quality and more reliable, consistent streaming performance on supported devices. Netflix shared a healthy dose of technical details regarding AV1, which we linked to in our full post, linked down below again in the video description. The AV1 codec first launched on Android back in 2020, and Netflix says more powerful hardware is usually able to run the new tech via software alone. However, less, say, beefy gear, like the platforms found in many smart TVs, often require dedicated hardware to help properly support the new format. And so The Verge shared a roster of supported hardware, which includes certain Samsung smart TVs, select Fire TV and Android TV devices, and Sony's PlayStation 4 Pro console. Netflix says it's working to bring AV1 to more platforms in the future, but heads up for now, for users of those supported devices, you'll hopefully be seeing some more reliable and more consistent streams. Next up, we've got an update for Frndly TV users. The family-focused streaming platform announced that it's adding content from the A&E portfolio to its roster of live TV streaming. Those additions include, naturally, A&E, but also the History Channel and Lifetime. And the trio of new channel options is set to arrive on November 18th, which means users should gain access to a large slate of incoming holiday content. Unfortunately, the addition of these new A&E channels also brings with it the service's first ever price hike. And so the price of Frndly TV jumps from $5.99 per month to $6.99 per month. And you can find out more in our full post link down below in the video description. In Discovery Plus news, the streaming service expanded its reach this week with a launch in Latin America. Specifically, the service rolled out in Brazil on November 9th, making it the first country in Latin America to offer Discovery Plus. In addition to content created for Discovery Plus in the US and other regions, Brazil's lineup will also include a number of locally produced titles, including a reported 40 productions within the next 2 years. And beyond that, Discovery is touting more than 150 shows currently in development. And to commemorate the launch, Discovery Plus is offering an annual plan with monthly installments of 1624 Real, which is a discount from the regular monthly rate of 2190 Real per month. Of course, you can find out more about Discovery Plus's push into Latin America in our full post linked down below. And if you've given the service a shot in the available regions, let us know what you think of the service and its available content in the comment section located down below as well. Moving on to Disney Plus, the streaming service has announced a new partnership with IMAX that includes offering several Marvel movies in what's known as expanded aspect ratio format. Now that's a closer match to the 16:9 ratio of modern widescreen TVs, and so the option means you should see thinner black bars taking up space during certain scenes. Now the expanded aspect ratio is coming to select films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and only for certain scenes, basically in sections where filmmakers wanted more vertical screen real estate so that more action is visible on screen. And naturally, we've got the list of supported titles included in our full post, and they include Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which premieres on Disney Plus on November 12th, the same day this new screen format is set to roll out. So if you're a Marvel fan out there, keep an eye out for the new IMAX expanded aspect ratio format, and feel free to let us know what you think of the update. Does it add to the cinematic experience? Well, you know where to let us know. And while we're talking about Disney, we should certainly discuss the company's latest earnings reports. And in its Q4 results, we learned that Disney Plus ended the quarter with 118.1 million subscribers, up from the 116 million total it ended the previous quarter with. Overall, Disney CEO Bob Chapek cited a 60% jump in growth year over year for the 2-year-old streaming service. Elsewhere, Disney also reported that Hulu with Live now has 4 million subscribers, while Hulu's on-demand side has 39.7 million users. And by the way, with that 4 million total, Hulu with Live keeps its spot at the top of the live TV streaming pile, with YouTube TV coming in second with around 3 million users. And of course, there's ESPN Plus, the sports-focused streaming service. And for Q4, Disney reported a total of 17.1 million subscribers, up from 14.9 million in the previous quarter. During the past few months, we've also seen the price of ESPN Plus rise from $5.99 to $6.99 per month, and Disney did note an increase in subscription revenue. And by the way, has anyone out there recently signed up for ESPN Plus? Let your fellow cord cutters and streamers out there know what you think of the service and its content offerings in the comment section down below. Last but not least, we've got some Roku news to discuss. We've reported in the past about how the company is focusing more and more effort on securing original and exclusive content. And this week, the company shared 3 more original titles heading to its free streaming platform, the Roku channel. First up is the dark comedy Bill Burr Presents A Moral Compass, starring, as you might have guessed, Bill Burr. That series premiered back on November 5th. And there's also a new documentary called 10 Weeks that examines basic combat training within the U.S. Army. And then there's Player vs. Player with Trevor Noah, in which the Daily Show host engages in lengthy conversations with pro gamers, celebrities, and more, all while competing in popular video games. And yes, in case you were wondering, each of these shows was originally slated to appear on the ill-fated Quibi streaming service, but they've since found a new home on the Roku channel. And if you do check any of these new titles out, definitely feel free to weigh in about what you liked and disliked. And so there you go. Those were some of the top headlines of the past week, and as we often say, thank you all for watching. Again, please do consider clicking on those like and subscribe buttons down below. They are a huge help to our channel, and they help signal to YouTube that it should continue recommending our content to more and more viewers. For now, though, thanks again for tuning in. My name is Philip Palermo, and I hope you all have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Take care.